Hello there, I am Colette van Heerden, and I'm the General Manager for Earthbody. I thought I'd just start off with who am I, just as an intro. Not everyone knows me, of course. I'm somewhat outspoken, fun-loving, very drawn to all things spiritual, and especially things that support, grow, and uplift individuals. My biggest passion is for people to know themselves so that they can be the power source, the battery supply, their own motivator and their own passion and power for their life thriving and their life destiny playing out for them. I've also always been drawn to alternative and left field things, often finding myself that I don't fit into the proverbial box. I am a mother to two gorgeous daughters. I'm also a passionate supporter of all things that are conscious and natural when it comes to birthing and pregnancy. Having written a book back in 2010 called Spirit in Pregnancy and Birth. I've learned Reiki, herbology, massage, reflexology. I've trained in body spin and body alignment. I've also trained as a doula, a family counselor, and a bold birth practitioner. So you can see my interests and my web of connectivity is somewhat widespread. I also use astrology and a lot of introspection, along with understanding reflections in our world, both within my direct world, my daily living, but also the world at large. I also thrive on symbology as a form of knowing myself. Mother Earth, or ME, or me for short, is in the forefront of almost all of my foundations and beliefs and attitudes to living in this world. So whether it be in the arena of eco-friendly behavior and the choices that we make, or whether it's understanding myself in relation to the universe and the galaxies, Mother Earth is very core to my daily living. So what I also wanted to share with you is what I do for Earthbody. I'm the General Manager for Earthbody. I'm acting as the face for Earthbody ever since the founder of Earthbody, Salome Pouroulis, passed away in 2020. As the General Manager, I am responsible for social media and for the Earthbody website. I'm also the person responsible for educating, assisting, and sharing with you what it is that Earthbody is about, how it works, and also how to make the readings work for you. I love doing what I do because it allows me to have a daily reminder of the incredible planet we live on and all that she provides us with. I'm also very privileged to be able to do this work as a continuation of Salome's legacy that she has left for you and for me and for everyone else that would like to make use of that as a tool. I'm in the very, very privileged position of being able to facilitate sharing this information, but also helping people to open their eyes to the world, to the possibilities, to the synchronicities that abound in their daily life through the readings that are available on Earthbody. I love seeing the web of connectivity and all the synchronicities that abound in our daily lives. And Earthbody facilitates me seeing these reminders, this joy at being alive frequently. We only need to open our eyes to the possibilities and boom, they reveal themselves, and then some. I thrive on knowing that there's also purpose behind where I live, where everyone lives. And so I enjoy sharing with others the benefits of finding out their location's ground support and the insightful purpose for why we are where we are. As an example, I've recently moved to Port Elizabeth here in South Africa. It wasn't a planned move, and nor was Port Elizabeth on my list of places to live, if I'm honest. I wanted to find connection and reason. I wanted to understand. I wanted to know. That's how I operate. It's quite a strong thing in my own birth chart, is I want to know the hows and whys. And so I obviously did an Earthbody reading for this particular location where I'm living, looking for and finding connection and reason. But even I was surprised with the results that I received in my reading. I had first put down that perhaps some of the purpose behind me moving to PE is some sense of coming home, because the current planetary influences in my chart for the last long while have been on that fourth house, that part of my chart that is about home and my past and my lineage. And so I kind of felt for myself that that had something to do with it. And I also saw that there might be purpose behind my maternal grandfather having been born in Port Elizabeth. So kind of, again, a sense of coming home, a circle closing. So when I did the Earthbody reading for myself in the location that I live in, it revealed to me that in my unconscious patterns, this was in the health reading, which you can find in store, I must pay attention to feeling trapped and burdened by unresolved family issues. So again, the way I read it, there is still something there about closing off circles, finishing off stuff, unresolved family issues. And for the same location, but in another Earthbody reading, this time the area of my life most affected by this location, I read that in my spiritual quest, in my higher learning part of my chart, my 9th house, that part that is affected involves awareness of in-laws and grandparents. Further reading in that module that I did a reading on came the suggestion that I pay attention to my home, my personal identity and fixed wealth on the back of, or which is, my family, my identity, the end of matters. There's that circle again, immovable wealth like property, fathers and grandfathers and all ancestors in the male line. So not only was my intuition correct, but the reading reflected back to me that there really is purpose in why I am here. And I'm then given the opportunity to use that information, that awareness, that consciousness, to actually allow Port Elizabeth to support me and give me that ground support that is part of my destiny, part of my journey. Okay, moving along, I just wanted to share a little bit with you about Salome. She's the creator and founder of Earthbody. Salome was an amazing woman, a spiritual scientist and an esoteric adventurer. She had degrees in geology and archaeology and the earth sciences, as well as an honors degree in geology and a master's degree in business administration. A very clever lady. And so it was that she created and founded Earthbody on the back of multiple connected areas in her life. She was naturally drawn to the influence of gems and minerals on our health. She could see the world through eyes. And again, that could connect meanings and parallels and synchronicities. There was very little that got past Salome. Salome's knowledge of stories and myths and legends abounds. She was so well versed at knowing our ancient legends and stories that she could often recognize their symbology in the world around us. So you will see on the Earthbody site there are a couple of readings, Dorothy and Heracles, where those stories and analogies and metaphors become stories that we can reflect on in our own personal journey. But more of that a little bit later. And so Salome was really gifted at seeing connectivity everywhere. And that is reflected in the Earthbody website. The more time you spend on it and the more time you use it, you will see how they all weave into each other and give additional tools with which to make the connectivity in your own life something that is tangible and aware to your own consciousness. Earthbody was born from Salome's ability to see and read this connectivity. It came from a particular day when she recognized the Eye of Horus superimposed. She saw this Eye of Horus superimposed over a geology textbook of hers that was open to the Johannesburg Dome, which is the geological area of Fourways. And on this map or on this textbook of hers, you could see the Eye of Horus. Eye of Horus is obviously the third eye chakra, and in Salome's ability of reading the chakras and the anatomy, Salome then used the iridology map to determine what body parts lie within the map of Mother Earth. And it's this understanding of the body-mind connection and the plotting of these body parts on the earth that Salome gathered profound insights into her own health and attitudes. And so Salome wanted to give others the same tool and have it at their disposal so that they could also discover more of themselves and come to understand their place on this earth, and also the connectivity and the partnership that comes between humans on the earth and the earth itself, and how we reflect one another. And so Earthbody was birthed, self-discovery through earth discovery. What follows in this presentation is some informal sharing of the website. I've done it to help you navigate your way around the website with the intention of making it as harmonious and hopefully an often used tool for you when you're facing illness, or perhaps you're facing life changes, or even you having an actual movement of location for work, for play, for home. Maybe you've come back from a holiday that to a place that left you feeling really uplifted and really good and aligned and centered, and you want to understand what it is that area or location was gifting you. You can use the Earthbody website for practically any part of your life movement, because there are readings that are annual. There are some of the readings that are life specific, so you only need to do that reading once, and then a whole multitude of readings that are location specific. So every time there's a move, or every time you're wanting to understand a different location, be it from a holiday perspective or where you're actually going to live and work, then you go and do those readings, purchase them and read them and explore them and integrate them. You'll also see in the videos that follow that I've touched on different parts on the Earthbody website that are other tools that you can use once you've registered. They're free to read through and experience. And I just want you to know that you are welcome to contact me. You are welcome to engage with me. I love engaging. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your feelings, and your feedback. And I wish you super duper journey through the next few minutes of video that I share with you. And once you get to the end of those little readings, I would love for you to feel inspired and uplifted, and remember that you have a place in this world, and that it is you that gifts the world healing, insights, and inspiration too. It doesn't just come from Mother Earth to us. She warmly receives our inspiration, our energy, and our presence on her earth as well. Okay, Earthbody Philosophy. Just to expand a little bit more actually on how Earthbody works, is based on ancient Greek principles of macrocosm and microcosm, which I've already referenced. This principle recognizes the repetition of patterns in the cosmos, from the very largest pattern all the way down to the most minute. So within that Greek principle, man is seen as the sentient medium between these two worlds and the image of the cosmos. Therefore, we're both microcosm and macrocosm. We are a cell of the Earth's body. We are an Earth. We contain many Earths within us. We are a galaxy, a universe, and much, much more. We are in this world, but this world is also within us. So from the Earthbody perspective, the human body is seen to be a reflection of the Earth's body. Every person is viewed as a miniature planet Earth. Every person, therefore, embodies all of these aspects of our living Earth. So whether it be the waters, the oceans, the ground, the ley lines, the meridians, all these different parts, sacred temples, and all the other aspects of Earth's magnificent creation. So we look different, but we're actually all the same and therefore intimately connected. What that also means, though, is what we do to ourselves, we do to the earth. And therefore, we have to be responsible, and hence knowing thyself, excuse me, becomes our core drive and responsibility in our personal lives. So in each location, we are then responsible as a cell within that aspect of her body to live with that consciousness and that awareness. Be mindful of that responsibility of our intimate interconnection. So even though you are located perhaps in New York or wherever you are in the world, that is obviously your location, that is your address, but you are then a cell within an aspect of her body, of Mother Earth's body, as plotted by the IMAP model. And in that case, you could perhaps be an aspect of the skin, which is part of our sensory system. Perhaps you are in the duodenum of our digestive system. You are then in that location, you are in an earth body location that is an aspect of the human body, an aspect of Mother Earth's body. And so that you will get that information that tells you what part of the body system you are in. The Earthbody approach is holistic, so all the facets of life are explored. Remember I said Salome was very, very geared towards connectivity. When we learn to be discerning through our feelings and our intellect, we're then able to assess our world through our senses and our intuition. So this balanced view animates and intensifies our view, bringing a sense of wholeness in what could otherwise be considered, especially at the moment, a very cold and quantitative and mechanistic view of our world. In the Earthbody approach, science merges with spirit. The objective Earth communes with the subjective Gaia, and the ignorant human becomes the sentient being. And when we truly comprehend that we are an intimate part of all life, then we are able to see that there's actually nothing wrong with our world, and that it is simply our perception of it that is faulty. It's our belief systems, our attitudes, our foundational belief systems that we were brought up with. I often love to shorthand the word belief systems down to BS, which could also be considered to be the bullshit that we need to change, that we need to relook and check that they are still working for us, because our debilitated perceptions are often the result of these faulty or old and outdated belief systems. They might have had a purpose in the past, but now we want to relook them and approach our life and our world so that we can thrive instead of surviving, so that we can grow and bring and expand prosperity to our world around us, so we can heal and we can gift the win-win for the greater good of all, instead of staying stuck in our past, old, faulty, and no longer true belief systems, perhaps. So when we're willing to remove our rose-tinted glasses and examine our belief systems, then we're able to change them. And in doing so, we then change the way in which we see things. And when we see differently, we respond differently. And we have then changed. And in so doing, we have changed our reality, and therefore we change our world. As humans, part of the earth, we contain the constituents of the overall structure of the earth. Humans and earth are mutable beings, as we are both predominantly water-based bodies. So therefore change is possible. And when we function with absolute clarity and consciousness, with belief systems that respect and intend for the highest good of all earth life, we are then able to manifest fast, effective, and lasting prosperity. The earth body concepts are not new, they've simply looked at in a different way. The IMAP model forms the foundation of everything on this website. It's an actual grid that covers the entire planet. So it's a human grid that covers the entire planet. And anybody can plot themselves in any location, apparently, except with the exceptions of the North and South Poles, which are grid-free points. So also wanted to just share with you, though, depending on what you have picked up in my talking, is that living in a particular place does not mean that you will get ill, and it does not mean you have to be ill to be looking at why you are in a particular place. The health section or reading is very insightful to those that are perhaps struggling with illness in some shape or form. Again, it all becomes information that we can dig and explore and be curious about, that benefits us in growing ourselves, and therefore benefits what we give back to the world, gives back to the earth that we live in. You'll see there's a variety of topics covered in the reading module section, and then these all offer you multiple lenses through which to see yourself. Looking with different eyes is definitely valuable, as you see aspects of yourself that you might not ordinarily have been aware of beforehand. And the more you know about who you are, the greater control you have over your thoughts, your actions, your behavior, your choices, and that's what you create and experience going forward in your life. Mwah. Earthbody requires you to register if you are going to purchase a reading or multiple readings, and it also requires you to register even if you do some of the free readings that are available on the site. You'll see it requires a registration. I am registered, but if you need to register, it's a simple information like that. Confirming you're not a robot, clicking to register your free account, and then you can go straight to log in. And I'm going to put in my details. And there we go. Easy as that. You're logged in. You can then click on the right-hand top button where your name is. And you click on your profile. And it is here that you will be able to add and edit or even delete locations and birth details. You can add your birth details. You can add the birth details of your children, husband, wife, family members. It doesn't matter. You can add locations. Locations you're going to be needing will be your birthplace or your family member's birthplace, as well as the addresses where you are actually wanting to ascertain what the influence is. The reading you're purchasing will influence or have an influence on a specific area. This is where you edit, add, or delete. So here we have the Earthbody homepage, and from here you will be able to take shortcuts to reading modules, straight through to different featured articles. You'll be able to go straight through to the gallery. This is Earth Life Reflections section. There's the crystal tablets. There's the crystal map. So I'm going to go into each one of those a little bit more in depth. And here on the Earthbody page itself, it gives you a full description of Salome's insight into how our world is reflected within us and outside of us, the macrocosm and the microcosm. That everything becomes a fractal, that everything is one. And that in our journey of self-discovery, we assist the earth, and at the same time, when we journey into discovering the earth and all that she is made up of, we land up assisting and healing ourselves. And so you will hear me reference the term ground support, and it becomes a unified marriage of humans and the earth together, working simultaneously, each gifting each other support, each gifting each other insights and healing. And so this marriage of man and earth is an expression that is also reflected in the cosmos, in the universe, in the stars. So here you'll be able to read more about Earthbody. You would then be able to click onto the IMAP model, which will give you information as to how Salome, I referenced it a little bit earlier, how she saw the Eye of Horus on the Johannesburg Dome, and how that became the pinpoint on which she positioned the iridology map, which gave us Earthbody. So you'll be able to read more information there. And you can also visit additional information regarding the chakric system, why it is so important. You'll find here there is so much fabulous information regarding the different chakras, all 7 of them, and each chakra has its own video. It's a movie that represents the chakra in a visual format that Salome and her team put together. And it also, when you're watching it, it'll also support you in taking in the magic, the essence of that chakra. Here's one example. So that one, my personal favorite for the sacral chakra and the waters of life. You are welcome to browse through each of those and enjoy learning and enjoy experiencing the videos too. And then you could also visit the crystal tablets, which will give you a breakdown of where they come from, how they were, how they came about and how they were created. And also why bears? Why are bears the symbol for the crystal tablets? There's 55 tablets altogether, and you can purchase that as a reading on its own. And when you draw that particular reading, you will be given information as to the specific gift that bear, that tablet brings you in the location that you are inquiring about. In the bear section, there's also a couple of videos for you to watch regarding just 4 of the bears. You can enjoy watching these that have been put together.
Walks in the company of self, red with conviction. Delight is her flavor for every helping of life. She has traveled through the eyes of her children and taken in the sights. Even bought a souvenir or 2. Waited in line to scream and laugh her way, gripping the sides of the roller coaster. Colette, she's bought tickets to the symphony of life and sat in the front row. She's danced in the rain and jumped off the very top of her scared heartstrings, falling into love, then out again, and diving right back in. She'll do it all again tomorrow.
And there you have Roxanne, who clearly shows us that she brings us the gift of a little bit more spunk, pizzazz, and sensuality. After the crystal tablets, you are also able to go and check out the Sapphire Tablets, which is a body of work that Salome spent a lot of time on. They are butterflies, which are obviously associated with transformation. When you draw that reading, you will be given the gift, but the challenge that particular butterfly wants to help you work through. So it will be a challenge that is specific to that location. It will be the same challenge for anybody that's in that same house or in that same location. But obviously then based on your astrology and your own personal birth chart and stuff, it might influence or affect you in different ways. So the butterflies also allow you to download a coloring in version of that particular butterfly that you draw or that comes up in your reading for that location. And it is definitely advisable to either utilize that as a creative expression, as a creative tool with which to transform that challenge. Alternatively, if you're not into coloring in, you could do something same or similar with perhaps clay, with perhaps painting, oil pastels, any form of expression that allows you to draw and paint the particular butterfly for the number and for the challenge that comes up in your personal reading. It becomes a process of transformation that we are welcome to and suggested to use as something that crosses the bridge from insight into what is possibly challenging you into making it something that becomes a strength, that becomes something you're aware of and something that you can then utilize in your journey going forward in life. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to purchase your reading. So you click on store. You'll find a few readings, suggested readings will come up for you, and then it'll give you a full list of all the modules. Take note. They are everyday readings. These are specific to locations that you are currently looking for additional information on. So perhaps your current workplace, your current home, and obviously every time you move, this information would change and you'd need to do a new reading on that specific location. Then you find the annual readings. These are ones that you could do every year, and they work through a 12-year cycle, giving you different steps along the adventure, the life's journey, the life adventure that you are on, using story and analogy and metaphor to give you insight into where you're currently at in the year that you do the reading. And then last but not least, we have lifetime readings. These are once-off readings. They are more specific to your birth information than actual location. And again, you can do this for yourself. You can do this for family members. You can do this for anybody that you are wanting to get more self-insight and new perspectives on. Then when you are ready to choose, you can add your readings as you wish. Your cart will come up on the right hand side. You can click on checkout. You can click on complete transaction. Mine won't take me to a payment gateway because I'm on the system, but yours will route you through PayFast or PayPal. Once that is done and the invoice has been emailed to the email address you registered with, you then can either click on your readings under point of interest. Alternatively, you can click on your profile where the big red spot is, click on my readings, and you'll see there's a new reading there for you. Click on view reading, And now this is where you are able to load your information that is specific to that reading that you've chosen. So my reading title in this case, I think it was career and let's just put your life, career, and I can't remember the other one, wealth. The reading would be for me, so I'm going to put in Colette. Okay, then I'm going to need to put in birth information. Now, my birth information is already loaded under the profile, so you can either do it like that. Alternatively, you're going to type in your birth information, year, time, etc. If you don't know your birth time, it's going to give you an opportunity to take a guess before sunrise, at night, etc., etc. But if you can put in specific birth time info, that is the preferred option. And then you can save your birth details like that. The crystal map is another fantastic part of Earthbody that allows the registered users to place crystals on the Earth grid. Now, you'd be doing this, placing intentions, placing good vibes, using crystalline energy, assisting Mother Earth, assisting perhaps war-torn areas that you know have had earthquakes perhaps, or raging fires, or if you know there are certain areas that have been affected by other situations in the news that you feel drawn to, even wanting to reach out and just send good crystalline grid energy to other family members, other people you know around the world that are struggling. You can place crystals on the Earth grid map and facilitate healing, facilitate love, facilitate joy. It's all about intention, it's all about having fun, and it's all about using the gifts of Mother Earth, i.e. her crystals from her crystalline body, for the benefit of earth support and personal support. It's your gift to the world as such. So you would click on the crystal map. You can zoom in to a specific location. Again, you could possibly even search for a location. Let's try something here. I don't want the restaurant. You can put in the actual location that you're wanting to place a crystal. So here, I just want to zoom out a little bit so you can see where we are. And then you would choose your crystal. Straight up, you're able to look at the different options, citrine, diamond, emerald, and so on. There's a huge collection there to choose from. If you're looking at what type of crystal, you're also able to click on the information button. That'll help you decide or be more specific as to what your intention is for a certain location. Along with choosing what type of crystal, you're able to choose crystal shapes. And again, in this you will get information about the symbology of that shape, and that in turn might also assist you with your intention and being specific in what it is you're wanting to place on the earth. So you then choose your crystal and your crystal shape, and you can also choose which morphic field you'd like to use. There's 10 of them to choose from. And if you wanted to, you could add a personal tag. This would come up under your personal profile when the crystal is placed, and then you will be able to see or add a specific intention. Perhaps it's a person's name, whatever it might be that you'd like to place there. Once you've chosen your crystal, you then are able to determine exactly where you want it to go. I'm struggling here to see. Oh, there we go. And yeah, then you can be as specific as placing the crystal there. I could zoom in a little bit more. And perhaps I decide, oh, actually I want to move this over a little bit and go and place it at the actual viewing point. Then once you've done that and you're happy with where you want it to be placed, and again, you can keep moving it wherever you need to. And once you're happy for it to be placed, you're going to click on Confirm Placement. And you can either add additional crystals. Let's perhaps get some other, oh yes, there's a fabulous one. I might want to keep the same shape. And this time I'm going to use Reverence. Sounds good to me for the Taj Mahal. I'm going to place my crystal. And then decide perhaps it needs to go there onto the actual Taj Mahal and the park, etc. And there you go, and you can just keep adding crystals. Confirm my placement, and you can zoom out and you'll still see your crystal placement represented on the grid. And then you are able to check out which are the top crystals that have been used, along with the type as in the shape. And you also have the possibility of sharing your crystal placement on social media, so that perhaps you could reach out to other people and ask them to join you in adding good intentions and bringing crystalline energy and support to the location that you are wanting to do that for. And there is a help button that you can click on. That just gives you all the information if you're not sure exactly where to go, what to do. And that is there for you. And you are then also able to work with the morphic fields. Again, just click through them. You've got the different shapes, the different fields in association with the actual crystal itself. The website, under community heading, you'll find a section called Earth Life Reflections. Now, these are very, very helpful, insightful and beneficial reflections of us. I mentioned earlier about being the macrocosm and the earth, relationship between the earth and ourselves as mankind and womankind. Earth Life Reflections works with that exact same as within, so without. These are free readings that you can do, and let me show you. So there's a moment in time where you're looking at your vitality, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you need to make an effort to develop and grow as an individual, your resourcefulness and ability to attract abundance into your life. So what you would do is you would click on View the Study, and this is the same process for all of them that are got a moment in time, as within, so without, in search of creative potential, and then we've got Wonder Woman. So when you get to the Earth Life Country Study, you will find that there's information there. You then will be able to shuffle the cards. You pick the card that you feel drawn to. It doesn't have to necessarily be the one in the middle. And then you click on View Your Earth Life Study. Then the information that will come up will be specific to that card, that location, that country. So we've got the French, Southern and Antarctic lands. The information is there for you to read into, and it's giving you a picture and a feedback as to where your energy is, where your vitality is at this current time. And so you use a bit of your inner sense, you use a bit of your intuitive wisdom, depending on how literal you are. Perhaps you might want to just allow some intuitive inspiration to come in to help you with understanding the self-reflection of this particular card that you draw. And it's as easy as that. You're going to read through it. It looks like currently my resilience and vitality is uncertain. At best, my thoughts are simple and uncomplicated. Absolutely. At worst, I'm irrelevant, lost, or others think for me. No, I'm good on that one. But you get a feel for what you will find on those readings. To then give you another example. This one uses the water bodies around the world, so rivers, oceans, dams, and so on, as a reflection back for you for where your emotional well-being and your emotional sort of, I'm going to shuffle these again, so you can shuffle as much as you want. And click on that card. Isle of Man. Wow, okay, so now I'm looking at an island. So I'm completely surrounded by water. A lot of emotion. Again, it'll give me information about that country. And then it'll ask me some nice questions. It'll give me some info as to what I can look at here. Waters, are they frozen? Are they steamy? Are they fluid? Are they flowing? Is it dried up like a desert? So one can start asking oneself one's own questions. That may, and then maybe you can also see insights into how you are dealing with your emotions currently. Where are they at the moment? There's solutions as well. I would immediately start looking at the fact that my waters are fluid and flowing. In other words, that Isle of Man is completely surrounded by water. But it also then could leave me feeling like I am at the mercy of my emotions. There's no fixed answer to these readings. This is insightful stuff. It allows you to feel into what it is you know about yourself, but also what you're picking up intuitively through the wisdom of the information and how it lands with you. So if I'm looking at flowing waters, this would be reflecting that my feelings and emotions are quite fluid and that I'm in a creative space. So yeah, that might not be problematic. It might be just really good feedback for me to show me that I am a reflection of the microcosm and macrocosm, but then how I use that information to know more about myself, and specifically with these Earth Life reflections, where I am at currently. So these are free. You can draw them at any time, every now and again when you're feeling out of sorts, or perhaps you just want to have a check-in with yourself. Then by all means, click on the community drop-down menu and take yourself straight to Earth Life Reflections. Another powerful one is the Wonder Woman Wonder World, which just looks at the different country, a country you've chosen, and how they treat their woman. What is the culture? What are the thought and belief systems? What are your attitudes and your perceptions about being a woman, if you are, or if you're a man, how you view women? So this is another opportunity for a reflection back at you through accessing countries of our world that make up our Earth. Okay, me again. I hope that was helpful and insightful, and that those video clips assisted you in making use of Earthbody and potentially purchasing some fabulous readings. If you've got any questions or require assistance in interpreting your reading results, drop me a line. I'm happily able and keen to intuitively guide you through a personalized process. Perhaps for integrating the information or understanding it better, or just affirming for you what you are intuitively picking up. It's your reading, it is specific to you. I'd love to hear about any aha moments and supercharged insights. And if there's anything you'd love to know more about or have a discussion about, please feel free to engage with me, as I sincerely believe that we're all part of this collective web of energy that grows and inspires, strengthening all the time and all the more we use it, by reaching out and by connecting with others for our greater good. So thank you very much for listening, and much love to all of you.